Hi survivors, it's me Purpose Ann reporting to you. Hope you guys are doing well, because right now what we're going through is a living hell. Now these are storms that just hit that part of California and San Diego, hit with powerful storms, spring rain, mountain snow, gusty winds. Y'all, I want to tell y'all something. Don't get too stuck up on everything that's going on with the chemical spills and all that. That's a big part of what's going on, but this weather, I've been telling y'all for a long time, that's a major agenda as well. This weather is also displacing people. This weather is displacing more people than the chemical stuff. But the chemical now, the chemical attacks have just started coming. Well, they've been in the food and the air, but now it's like more stronger than ever, more potent. It's like, it's affecting millions and millions of people. But these storms, y'all, I'm telling y'all, pay attention to the weather. It's so much we have to pay attention to, but we could survive it if you just prepare for it and pay attention to it. That way you'll know how they're coming. Now, it's supposed to be a huge weather event this weekend as well. Now, San Diego just got hit in the last 24 hours with powerful storms, bringing all this heavy, heavy weather to their area, right? Let's check this out. Hope I don't get a copyright strike. I hate that when they do that.
2020 San Diego Best Plumber.
I'm so sorry, y'all.
We are Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air. And
as soon as this commercial goes over, we'll see it.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto. Marcella's off tonight. The potent storm we're expecting to move in has slowed down a little bit, but it's still going to pack a punch when it rolls through overnight through tomorrow. We have team coverage. CBS 8's Steve Fiorina is live at Oceanside, where the rain will be moving in first. Brian White is chasing the snow in East County. But first, we check in with meteorologist Sean Stiles. He's in our weather center for a look at your microclimate forecast and when we can expect to see the heaviest rain and snow. Sean, we're going to be a little patient today, it feels like.
Yeah, well, you got a chance to get things done around your house today, Carlo, because we're looking towards some very heavy rain. In fact, we're talking about flash floods up in the Los Angeles area, a blizzard warning. This is how the storm is coming in literally right now, and you can see.
I really don't want to hear no meteorologists, because unless it's Weatherman Plus and people, the meteorologist is going to tell the truth. I really don't want to hear that. But listen, this is the thing. This is a historic winter storm that stalled off the coast of Southern California, made landfall with mammoth amounts of rain. Now they're not putting in this one. This is not the one I really wanted to talk about. The one I want to talk about is how it's displacing people. People are in the shelters. The shelters are over full. I just saw. Let's look at this one. This is the one I'm talking about right here. Hold on. Let me go back. Let's go back.
With the brunt of the storm expected tomorrow morning, our local mountains are blanketed in snow right now. Mount Laguna certainly received its fair share over the past couple days. Get this, 22 inches so far, and still more to come.
The winter storm headed our way is expected to be stronger than what we've already seen this week.
Let's check in with meteorologist Sean Stiles. Sean, what does our Saturday look like?
Well, I'll tell you what, Ann.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm going to pull that one up on YouTube so you can properly hear it. I want y'all to hear about how these people are being displaced and they don't have any, They don't have any room for them in the shelters. I want people to hear about this because it's important to prepare for it, put up some money for it, because this is what happened to us in Texas. What it was like a couple of weeks ago, about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I was headed out there, remember, and I got stranded in Chicago. Not stranded, but there was a layover, see, resources for people experiencing homelessness. I had a big layover in Chicago, and I had to stay put there. And thank God that they gave me a hotel voucher and everything like that, because if not, I would have had to been coming out of my own money. That's why I do encourage people, if you don't have to travel right now, don't do it. It's too many chemical spills going on. It's too much crazy, dangerous weather going on. It's too many agendas going on. So this one says, hold on, here it is right here.
You could go to Grainger.com to find what you need to get the job done. Grainger, supplies and solutions for every industry.
Sorry, y'all, about these commercials. This just don't make no sense. But I want y'all to see for yourselves what I'm talking about in regards to these people being displaced.
People are anxious to see if they can't find a safe place to get out of the rain.
See?
And then the rains will continue throughout the day. We'll have a very narrow band of heavy rain by about 1.
Weather shelters for the city's homeless are at capacity. CBS 8's Rocio de la Fe shows us the efforts to help the most vulnerable.
The San Diego Rescue Mission normally has 60 beds available. During inclement weather, they're able to increase capacity to 70. Staff members tell me every single bed has been full each night as the region deals with the historic winter storm.
It becomes a team effort when we have weather like this.
City shelters are dealing with an influx of people looking to stay warm and dry.
We know that impacts your health dramatically, and so it's super important to get as many people off the streets as soon as possible.
Paul Armstrong with the San Diego Rescue Mission says the recent weather has put already vulnerable people more at risk.
On days like this, people recognize that we're not used to this in San Diego, and so when it does happen, people are anxious to see if they can't find a safe place to get out of the rain.
All across town, shelters are working hard to take in unhoused individuals.
A lot of people want to get out of the cold and the wet.
Mark Sheets, a volunteer with Living Water Church of the Nazarene, says people have been lining up for hours in advance to secure their spot inside.
We have people lining up as early as 3:15 in the afternoon. We don't open until 8.
Royza Cade is one of the over 30 people who are seeking shelter here.
I'm 54 years old and I'm not of that good health. And to have this church to provide shelter to the homeless, what little bit we can, it really is a godsend. And I do appreciate it.
All city shelters operate on a first-come, first-served basis.
Right.
Check-in and check-out times
That's
may
what I'm
vary
talking
by
to y'all about.
location and could be extended during bad weather. For a complete list of shelters, visit our website, cbs8.com.
Now,
Or see-
this is what I want to talk to y'all about. This is why it's important that we prepare for this. Now, what happened in Texas a couple of weeks ago, and also during that Texas windstorm, is like what they're going through now. But what the news not gonna tell folk is that they be having these shelters be day shelters. And some of them be night shelters. Like, listen, y'all bear with me. Bear with me for just a second. I appreciate y'all being patient with me and all this with my unprofessional videos. But anyway, this is the deal, right? The day shelters, they only have a certain capacity that they allow in there, right? So if you in a day shelter, then you have to leave at a certain time. Like towards night, they tell people they have to go. It's not like an all-day shelter, right? So the people leave at night, then the night shelters are already filled because they got capacity already filled up in there, right? So the day people end up still being homeless, or if they had a house and that was affected by the flood, they end up being on the streets if they don't have a car. And then the night shelter people during the day, they don't have nowhere to go. So it's all a setup. And then the other thing is, I've been to these types of shelters before, being displaced in Texas and stuff back in the day. The food be questionable. Nowadays, they want you to have that illness jab, or they try to put something in your nose or mouth. They're not going to tell y'all the whole deal, but I know the whole deal. They're going to try to swab people's mouth and nose to see if they got that stuff. All this is agenda. And these people pay these churches and these shelters and whatnot. I'm going to say allegedly, but I know what's going on, to do these things. So they throw a weather-related event over there, displace people. So they know people got to go to these places, you know what I'm saying? They fund these places, and they come in with the Red Cross, they come in with FEMA, they come in with these shelters and whatnot. You don't know what's in the food. They come in before you can even go in there. You're desperate, so you're gonna try to comply to whatever they come at you with, right? So you're gonna let them do whatever they want to do to your nose, whatever, this shot, that shot, blah blah blah. And then you still end up being displaced and homeless. Man, these people are cold with the game. I'm telling y'all, they're cold with it. Now, look at these people in California. They're not used to that kind of weather. We're seeing some of the most erratic weather that we ever witnessed in history of humankind. I mean, stuff going on in places that never happened there. And these people are going through the same thing. They being displaced. They stay in shelters as if these people could stay there all the time. They put up the little kid buggy, all this here stuff. Man, them people gotta leave. They have to leave at a certain time. And then like all the other shelters, say for instance, like the more the more stable shelters. I hate to use that word stable, but like the shelters where people could stay there for like a month until they get housing, or a couple of weeks, whatever, they already filled and packed up to the brim with people who are already been displaced because of all this stuff that's been going on since 2020. So they already had a long wait list. So that just, all the people who have been displaced behind the storms, they just out of there. That's why it would behoove us, and we'll be, like, to really be in a position to properly take care of yourselves. Like, don't spend your money on junk food. Don't spend your money on all this entertainment stuff, concerts, movie, all that, man. You better save your money. I'm trying to tell you, man, because the times we living in, you gonna need it. What if something happened in your area of a weather-related event? You know what I'm saying? You got to leave, or whatever the case is. You don't want to have to depend on the system. You don't want to have to depend on the shelters. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to have to be in the hands and the mercy of someone else. Or what if something, God forbid, like what just happened over there in East Palestine with the chemical spill, or what's going on with us in Texas? You know what I'm saying? With them transporting that mess all the way to Texas. And then you find yourself, man, I got to get up out of here because I don't want that stuff exposed to me and my children. And especially if you have a family, y'all, man, make sure you got some transportation. If you don't, try to save up for it now, like work till you can put up for it so you can get away. I think having transportation these days and times, or we're entering into the era where transportation is going to be way more important than having a house. Because we're seeing that people having to just up and leave their houses, y'all, and leave everything in it. I'm telling you, just losing everything. We've seen this in Ukraine. We see this in East Palestine. We've seen this a lot of different places. How people have to just be displaced. We saw it through the Texas winter storm. People lose everything, man. So these are the times we're living in. But I just wanted to, share this story with you. And I'm not telling y'all stuff that I'm not applying to myself. Like, I'm putting up emergency funds. I have like a, emergency fund for, when a disaster strikes. We already living in a disaster right now. I eat one meal a day. I'm not eating up a lot of stuff. I don't really go places that I really don't need to go, to be going out there spending up all my money and all this trying to stuff. I'm all right with it because I know we're living in an emergency time. We're living in the end times, y'all. And it's about survival to the fittest. Okay, I'm not going to keep ranting on and on and on. But I just wanted to share that with y'all. This stuff is happening, man. It's happening in real time. We have to watch this weather. We have to watch the water. We have to watch the air. We have to watch everything that's going on. It's like my eyes been stayed to the news and to YouTube and to Google and all these other different resources to get different types of news, what's going on, so I can stay a step ahead of the game, and also share that with you guys. And if y'all know anything, y'all share it with the community. Email me, purposeand@gmail.com, and thanks to all of you who do it. Y'all, we have to help each other, man, because they trying to wipe us. Allegedly. Watch this world, watch the weather, smell your water, boil and purify your water before you use it. And y'all, please, if you can, join me on Patreon, because there's a lot of videos that I've been uploading that I cannot share on this platform that people really need to know about, like who's behind all this stuff, where this stuff is coming from, how long this stuff been going on. I mean, different towns that this stuff has happened in before. I got all that stuff on my Patreon. And if it's not on there now, I got a lot of other videos coming up. And y'all keep surviving, purposeand.com.